Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Friday, the 15th of November, 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the local share market bounced today. The S&P ASX 200 closing 0.75 of a percentage point higher to 8,285 points. That means for the week, the market lost just 10 points. Among the large caps, the banks did pretty well. ANZ was up 2.5%, Westpac 1.9%, Commonwealth Bank and National Australia Bank around that 1.5% level. WiseTech was another strong performer, up 3%. That means for the past year, it is now more than doubled in price. Fortescue Metals and Rio were among the laggards, while CSL fell more than 2%. Pathology group Helios' share price tumbled 16%. It held its annual general meeting today and it updated its earnings guidance. It was easily the worst performer of the top 200. Lend-Lease avoided a second strike over its remuneration report at its AGM. 91% of shareholders voted for it. CEO Tony Lombardo said shareholders needed to look past this financial year to better times ahead. It also launched a $500 million share buyback. Its share price jumped pretty sharply today. Story number 2, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says any move by Donald Trump to diminish Joe Biden's mega energy spending via the Inflation Reduction Act could benefit Australia. The Prime Minister, speaking from Lima, reckons it could drive investment into this country. Now, the Inflation Reduction Act drives investment in green energy and advanced technology. The federal government here has the Future Made in Australia Act, aims to do the same thing, just on a much, much smaller scale. So if the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, is reduced, then that could help locals. The Prime Minister said Australia is well placed to drive the global economy with resources including copper, vanadium, cobalt and lithium. Earlier today, Mr Albanese met with his Indonesian counterpart, President Prabowo Subianto, and discussed the need to de-escalate tensions with China. Story number 3, BHP today says it's waiting to formally receive a court ruling on the 2015 Fundão tailings dam collapse in Brazil after media reports that a lower court ruled that its unit and other firms are not criminally liable for the disaster. A dam collapse at an iron ore mine owned by Samarco, a joint venture between Vale and BHP, resulted in 19 deaths, left hundreds of people homeless, flooded forests and polluted the Doce River. According to Reuters, the court found there was not enough evidence to establish a causal connection between the companies and the dam failure. The court's ruling on criminal charges filed by Brazil's federal prosecutors in 2016 is distinct from the $32 billion civil settlement disclosed last month, which deals with framework obligations and other claims related to the dam failure. Separately, BHP also faces a lawsuit in the UK for the Samarco dam disaster, potentially costing it $47 billion in damages. Story number 4, the scandal-ridden miner, Mineral Resources, has admitted it should have told shareholders about a rental relief scheme that went on for a decade involving companies linked to the daughter of billionaire founder Chris Ellison. The rent relief scheme benefited companies linked to Christy Lee Cracker between 2012 and 2023, according to the Fin Review, and was considered a related party in nature. Hence, shareholders should have been informed. MinRes' defence is that the scheme was not materially price sensitive, particularly given the quantum involved, as well as Mineral Resources' ability to seek repayment if it wanted to. Mineral Resources' share price fell more than 5% today. It's off 50% for the year. And story number 5, the chair of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, overnight said there is no hurry to cut interest rates. He said the strength in the US economy at the moment gives the Fed the ability to approach decisions carefully. The Fed cut the benchmark rate by 50 basis points in September, 25 basis points last week, and it's expected to cut by another 25 basis points next month, though Mr Powell's comments have somewhat dampened confidence about a cut. Data this week shows that the core consumer price index is running about 0.3% per month in the US, which remains higher than what the Fed targets. That's it for the afternoon report for Friday, the 15th of November, 2024. Michael Thompson, Adam Lang, and I will be back tomorrow morning with the weekend edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.